All right, it is the final week of the CFL season, and so that has presented some interesting scenarios. If you want the full slate of the best bets for the week in the CFL, that piece from me is up right now on 3 Down Nation. We will put that here in the chat for everybody. Those are the picks for the CFL. So not going to do as in-depth of a breakdown because we have them up there, and not necessarily going to go super in-depth on what the on every spread and all of that, because I want you to read that one. But I do quickly want to see if we can find some player props for these games, because they always come out a little bit later for CFL games, which has made it a little bit frustrating, because that's actually an area we've done pretty well in so far this year. So if we could find that, that would be great. But we will begin with Hamilton taking on the Ottawa Red Blacks. You have Hamilton. They started the week as a underdog in this game, but that one has moved, I think, pretty significantly as this week has kind of gone along. It started out again as Hamilton plus 2.5, and it has all the way moved over to Ottawa minus 1.5. And so for the best bet piece, by the time that the odds were out, it was still Hamilton plus 2.5. So that's what we were rolling with in that game. But I still think that Hamilton minus the 1.5 is an okay play here. I don't see how Ottawa, whose defense has really struggled the last little while, is going to be able to limit things a whole lot here. I think Bo has a really big day, and the odds show it. Man, the prop right now for Bo Levi Mitchell is 315.5 yards. So we're probably not going to do great on that one. That one could end up being a bit of an issue for us. So that one certainly is going to be a no for us on that. But yeah, Hamilton minus the 1.5 is certainly a play that we are comfortable with. Coming up here on Friday night, it is Edmonton taking on Toronto. The Argos have nothing to play for. They will be hosting the East semifinal next week. So I think Edmonton minus 3.5 is an all right play, given that Toronto is going to be resting a whole lot of starters. On to Saturday, the game that really means the most this week. It is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who, with a win, wrap up first place in the CFL's West Division and a bye next week. They take on Montreal, who wrapped all of that up about a month ago. And so they are just try to get everyone ready for the playoffs going into their bye week, while Winnipeg has everything to play for. And so Bombers minus 7.5, like you just kind of have to there. I don't see where Montreal really keeps this game close against the Winnipeg team that is going to be very determined to wrap that bye week up. If they don't, it opens up the door for Saskatchewan, who will be hosting Calgary in the West semifinal. The Riders are favored by 3.5 points going up against Stampeders team that looked just abysmal last week. Just a truly putrid performance by Calgary in that game against Hamilton. And so it does seem like they've kind of given up on the year. And so even if Saskatchewan, there could be a natural letdown with the understanding that they will not be hosting the West final. They do still have the West semifinal in their bag if Winnipeg does win that game. And so I think it'll be a mix of trying to keep guys healthy, but also staying a little bit sharp for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. But I think even with a few players maybe sitting or resting or stuff like that, I still think Saskatchewan beats up on Calgary in this game. So Riders minus 3.5 is certainly a play we are comfortable with. But for more on why I'm making a couple of those picks and a couple extra picks, check it out on 3 Down Nation, the best bets.